Hmm. Um, I just wanted to make sure. There is a French saying, the destination of the father of the family. Yes. I happen to be the father of the family. Yeah. And you'd probably like to know where I'm going to go. But in Louisiana Civil Code, Article 741, oh. See, Louisiana was that one state where it had a lot of French influence. Yeah. Could you give me the state of Louisiana and all the welfare recipients? Yes. That have had somebody arrested for domestic violence? Yes. That have had protection orders filed against them or divorce paperwork right now. I thought I could sue each and every state of the United States in Louisiana. Right. Because there was this little French Revolution that we don't talk about as a nation. Just get me all the oaths of Louisiana. I thought I'd emailed the Supreme Court of the state of Louisiana that has knowledge of the state of Washington participating in welfare fraud because of this idea of the ex parte permanent protection order being issued without any proof of service. Yes. Dissolutions of marriage being issued without any proof of service. Yes. And where I, as the father of the family, am being denied my rights right now. Now, I'm going to really. How is the state of Louisiana? Now, in this French Civil Code, Article 741, yes, when the two estates cease to be owned by the same owner, a servitude comes into existence if the servitude is apparent from external signs such as a roadway or a pipeline. Yes, common owner recorded declaration establishing the destination. Now, these common owners, yes. Why don't you get me all the welfare recipients, all the public housing? Yes. Every individual that was given emergency ex parte housing, ooch, because an emergency ex parte court order, yes, where there was an emergency ex parte claim, yes, that they had been a victim of domestic violence, child abuse. Now, let's say the state of Louisiana is very tough on those that are perpetrators of such crimes, but their police departments right now. Well, I did email the police in Louisiana. Now, I'm thinking, yes, that I'm going to make a lot more money in these welfare fraud cases. Cases. Now, as a father, phew, my rights are being violated. Oh, and I wanted to speak to Marilyn about the fraudulent use of a picture of my sister Susan Bowers. Yes. And then there's the fraud of Mike Van Proyn receiving court notices for 5 years. Yes. Where he, as a pastor, helped my wife commit the crime of welfare fraud. Now, it was nice of him to extend a place for her to live when she moved from Guam with my sons. Yes. But since Mike had to involve himself in the welfare fraud of Heidi Budnick, yes, I'd like to sue Mike Van Proy for any and all knowledge of welfare fraud. Yes, yes. Because as a mandatory reporter right now, do you really have to inform law enforcement of welfare fraud? Now, here's a little failure to appear for $500,100. That's the actual district court case number where a citizen made a complaint against me? Yes. But there's no actual case number from law enforcement? Yes. There's no originating case from any law enforcement? Yes. And I wasn't living there for 5 years, and you all thought you were going to teach me a lesson. Pooh. Now I'm going to sue Mike for participating in welfare fraud. Yes. Because I didn't get notice of court hearings. Yes. And I was sure that it was not the sheriff's department that served me. Yes. See, this promptly return a court proof of service. Yes, proof of service. Right. When you served me in the Squim Public Library, it turns out that every time you issued a protection order or the dissolution of marriage hearings, you never had proof of service. Every hearing was ex parte. Now, I know that when I get to sue in each state of the United States of America, without proof of service, you can't actually say that I had. Now, I'm going to want to speak to Marilyn about her husband's fraud and being complicit in welfare fraud. Pow, 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 pow. And I was wanting to sue him. Yes. Now, well, I think it's very important that you enforce the laws because return to the court this court proof of service. The Washington State Court website says that you must serve the respondent at least 5 judicial days prior to court hearings, and there must be proof of service in the file before having the court hearing. And you made up all kinds of excuses why you could violate the laws of this state, every state, and the United States, as well as international treaties. Now, I know the honesty defense. Ooch. An assertion, yes, that the defendant acted honestly in good faith. This defense, almost unique to civil suits, is rarely raised. For example, a defendant can assert honesty as a defense to a charge of fraudulent misrepresentation. How many of you oaths, badges, attorneys, yes, and mandatory reporters can honestly say as a defense that it is not a crime to defraud welfare of any and all benefits when you have knowledge of the fraud of issuing ex parte orders where there is no proof of service in the court file?